Are you struggling to get a PPP loan and save your business? Did you get a PPP loan and can't get your PPP loan forgiveness? Me too, guys. We are so slow, guys. Just in 1 year, some people got their millions from SBA. They were caught by the FBI, they pledged guilty, and now they're already in a prison serving their sentences. What a speed! This video is my investigation about the biggest PPP scammers. I did research, I read tons of court documents and made this video. So please click the PPP forgiveness button, button to support me, and please think twice before repeating their mistakes. Okay, and the first lucky man in my list is Hassan Hakim Brown, 45-year-old, pled guilty in Fort Lauderdale Federal District Court, working with conspirators to steal $24 million of COVID-19 relief money by using synthetic identities and shell companies he used to steal the money. So Hassan and other criminals manufacture synthetic identities by using the personal and financial information of real people, such as stolen social security numbers with fraudulent made-up information, such for example as fake names and dates of birth. He used and used synthetic identities to open fraudulent bank and credit card accounts and commit other fraud. And what is the most interesting is that years before pandemic, Brown and his conspirators used complex computer data storage and virtualization machines to manufacture synthetic identities, automatically open bank accounts and shell companies, and monitor bank activity tied to the synthetic, as well as the stolen identities. So in 2017, they used them to steal money from a bank in my lovely Texas. Then came the COVID-19 pandemic and Paycheck Protection Program, which has as a result hundreds of billions of dollars and forgivable loans to small businesses to use for payroll, rent, utility, and other approved expenses. Brown and his conspirators used their already established synthetic identities and associated shell companies to fraudulently apply for financial assistance from PPP program. I carefully read his criminal case, trying to understand how he did it. First of all, he used at least 5 banks to clean his operations: Salt Lake City, New Jersey, and Charlotte, and Birmingham, Alabama, and other cities. So he was so smart that he registered as a sole agent. Where, you may ask? At target locations. Look at these guys. So as a part of his applications on the April 28, 2020, he digitally signed up the SBA Form 2483 for $60,000, and the first location with a IP address that FBA code was from Target. They call this Target 1 location. Then he applied for several other loans, and this time he used a Target location too. In this document they have a specific addresses where he made these registrations. You may ask how that's possible that SBA or big banks cannot check their PPP loan scammers' identity. Well, here is the explanation right from the criminal complaint document. Let me show it. So the synthetic identification fraud is a type of fraud which criminal combines real information such as stolen social security numbers and false fraudulent information. And based on a training experience that investigator told in this story, I'm aware that individuals engage in synthetic ID often steal SSN from specific groups of individuals. And there is explanation. And based on my training experience, I know that many credit agencies don't verify SSNs on credit card applications with SSA. Rather, credit agencies use their identifiers to verify if a SSN on a credit application matches an existing profile with someone who already has a credit line. So, for example, if SSN a credit application doesn't match to anyone in particular, a credit card agency system may believe it's encountering a new individual with no credit history, such as a young adult getting their first credit card. So that's how this fraud works. So they stole identities. Mostly they used young adult identities. And every time when they apply for PPP loans, the agency or credit agency just saw a kind of clean history, so they cannot made a decision to deny this application just because there was no reason to deny. Okay guys, and we are ready for second PPP loan scammer. Another very smart guy who was caught is Russel Anthony Short. So, two Oregon men have pleaded guilty for their roles in construction-related scheme to steal Paycheck Protection Program funds. Russel Anthony Short, 39-year-old of Merrill Creek, Oregon, pleaded guilty to bank fraud, and Andrew Aaron Lloyd, 51-year-old of Lebanon, Oregon. He pleaded guilty to bank fraud, money laundering, and aggravated identity theft. So, according to U.S. Attorney's Office, on May 1st, 2020, Lloyd submitted a PPP loan applications under Short's business name, Short Lee Construction, to U.S. banks. Included in the loan application package was a false IRS Form 941 listing 2019 wages paid of more than $5 million. So the application also included a fake list of 56 employees and the wages perpetually paid to each employee. And based on these false representations, US bank processed the PPP loan application, resulting in the disbursal of more than $600,000 into Short's bank account. 3 days later, Short transferred $300,000 to Lloyd's bank account. Lloyd then used the funds to purchase securities through the online brokerage. And according to court document, this scheme was just one of several that Lloyd engineered starting in April 2020, when he began submitting loan applications using numerous business names and numerous business locations. So in total, he was so smart that Lloyd submitted 9 PPP loan applications, 6 of which were accepted, resulting in a payout of more than $3 million. But that wasn't enough for him, and Lloyd also applied for numerous economic injury disaster loans, which one was accepted, resulting in an additional $160,000 in payments to Lloyd companies. And again, upon receipt of the funds, Lloyd purchased real estate and invested in securities, and he transferred more than $1.8 million of funds to his E-Trade securities brokerage account. And securities Lloyd purchased using the fraudulent acquired funds substantially increased in value. Maybe that was his plan, to invest all this stolen money in stocks, then pay it back, and everything is fine. But things happen in a different way. And in January 2021, agents seized Lloyd's brokerage account, which included 15,000 shares of Tesla, purchased with the proceeds of his fraud. In March 2021, agents seized another account containing more than $600,000 securities and cash. The securities and cash seized from Lloyd's accounts are presently valued at more than $11 million. Very smart move, very smart. So with Lloyd's acceptance of responsibility, the US Attorney's Office said it will recommend a sentence of just 61 months in a federal prison. He has agreed to pay more than $4 million in restitution and to forfeit more than $11 million in cash and securities and 23 properties that were purchased with the PPP funds. And the short story is even more shocking, guys. Why? This work was done by licensed attorney. So, H Choi, 48-year-old, a licensed attorney of Cliffside Park, New Jersey, and he was charged by criminal complaint until today upon his arrest in the District of New Jersey with 3 counts of bank fraud and 1 count of money laundering. So, the criminal complaint alleges that Choi submitted 3 fraudulent PPP applications to 3 different lenders on behalf of 3 different businesses that purportedly provided educational services, a kind of PPP educational fraud. So the complaint also alleges that Choi fabricated the existence of hundreds of employees, manipulated bank and tax records, and falsified driver license on his application. Choi allegedly falsely represented to the lenders that the companies controlled by him had hundreds of employees and paid over $3 million in monthly wages. And as a result, the complaint alleges that Choi received a total of nearly $9 million in federal COVID-19 emergency relief funds, mean for distressed small businesses? Every time when I read these stories, I have just two questions. Why all these agencies with millions or even billions of money for IT systems cannot catch these guys? And the second question I have every time, how we can protect taxpayers from such cases in future? Thank you for watching this video, guys. Have a good day and peace out.